Hello, welcome to the Newspaper Review here on Top TV. It's a very beautiful Monday here from the city of Port Harcourt here in River State. That's where we're reaching you from. And with me on the program this morning is Mr. Victor Sioko.
Thank you, sir.
You are very much welcome to
Thank
the
you,
show.
sir.
And today, it's Monday. First, let me start by asking, how was your weekend? How did it go?
It was a cool one. It was time with family
Yeah.
and friends, so I really enjoyed my weekend.
I had a very great weekend too, even though I was on transit at some point, making a trip, but it was a very cool one.
And how was the road?
Well, I could say that so far, yeah, it was a journey from Lagos back to Port Harcourt. So the road, not so bad anymore, except these very funny portions from Benin, that's Edo State, to Delta State. That Sapele Benin road is really not great at the moment. Lots of potholes.
Okay, that means you use the back road, not
Yeah.
Onitsha road.
Yes, no, I'm not very conversant with the access.
Okay.
And we're always very much comfortable with the East-West road.
Okay.
It's a very smooth ride.
Okay.
And so for our viewers, if this is the first time you're seeing this video, this is where we bring you newspaper headlines across Nigeria here on the show, and then we get to talk about them, analyze some of the headlines we read out to you here. So you can also join us by also doing same. Analyze these headlines, drop your opinions and your comments on the comment section, and you do well to follow us by subscribing to this channel by clicking on the subscribe key. Don't always forget to turn on the notification, because that's how you get notified whenever we come up next time with the program. All right, we'll go into the headlines for today. Today we're going to do the program a little bit different from how we do it. We are going to, talk about or review the ongoing burial of the Queen of England, that's Queen Elizabeth II. That burial is ongoing at the moment, and we're going to spend some time to review that burial, what is next for the kingdom and countries that are tied to that nation, and a bit of this and that as regards to the burial. So please stay tuned as we do all of that together. But we're going to go into the headlines first, and that's what we're going to get into right now. And we'll start from Vanguard newspaper for today, the 19th of September 2022. And on Vanguard newspaper here, we see how Nigeria dresses in borrowed robes. Atiku speaking there. Details of that story is on page 14 of the Vanguard newspaper. And as a major headline on the Vanguard here, we see businesses heading for total collapse. NECA raises alarm, says over 50 taxes weighing businesses down, warns against further borrowing, calls for harmonized tax system. Economy facing many vulnerabilities. Muda Yusuf. Let there be tax harmony, says FIRS boss. Details of all of that you find on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. Also on the Vanguard here we say campaign cancel. PDP's move puts APC under pressure. That detail is on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. All right, we'll move on to other papers, and that will be the Nation's newspaper for today, the 19th. And on the Nations here, we see from the top here why Nigerians in diaspora must mobilize for Tinubu. We find details of that on page 5 of the Nation's newspaper. We also see, as the major headline here, strike, reps, ASU meet over face-off with government tomorrow. Union asked to submit written presentation. Case against teachers for hearing today. Right. And then we see at the bottom part there, pictures of Emmanuel Macron and then US President Joe Biden and their spouses. And the headline under that picture says, world leaders to attend Queen Elizabeth's funeral. Details of all of that on page 44 of the Nation's newspaper. Well, we'll move on to the Daily Sun newspaper, and on the Daily Sun here, at the top part, it says, presidency, North-South zoning against federal character. Lion was speaking, and details is on page 26 of the Daily Sun newspaper. I want to see here, 2 dead, several injured as building collapses in Uyo. APC under pressure over campaign cancel as Wike considers options. Ruling party's neck yet to ratify Tinubu's list. Agreed former presidential aspirants keep mum. All right, and then at the bottom part there it says 2023 budget, 11.3 trillion deficit rattles Senate. Lawmakers may tinker with tax, customs, laws. right? Pick up a copy of the Daily Sun. That. Next is the Tribune newspaper. That's the Nigerian Tribune. And on Nigerian Tribune here, we see fuel subsidy must go to avert public debt crisis. Budget office. The details of that story is on page 7 of the Nigerian Tribune. Also here we see 7 million Nigerians sue INEC over inability to complete voter registration. That's an interesting headline, and you find details of that on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. As the major headline here, it says ASU strike, security on alert as students insist on protest at airports. NANS warns against attack on students, but Abiamila to meet students tomorrow. Details is on page 5 of the Nigerian Tribune. We also see at the very bottom part of that paper, it says NDLA arrests ex-convict with cocaine hidden in lip gloss, deodorants. Right, so pick up a copy of Nigerian Tribune to get full details of all of those stories. Next we go to New Telegraph newspaper. And on New Telegraph here we see 12 banks personnel expenses rise. I'll take it again, beg your pardon. It says 12 banks personnel expenses rise 17.20% to 307.34 billion naira. And other headlines here on the Nigerian Telegraph, it says 2023 24 Nigerians sue INEC over incomplete registration. Pray that they 7 million orders be allowed to get PVCs. Vote say closing gates on eligible citizens can preserve trust in electoral process. Catholic bishops task INEC on tech deployment for polls. All of that details you'll find on page 3 of the New Telegraph. We also see here Okowa, APC's ineptitude plunged Nigeria into poverty, hunger, unemployment, blast Delta SDP Guba candidate. This is the headline here. Monkeypox, low immunity, poor hygiene, driving infection spread. Experts. You find details on page 6 as Nigeria leads in global deaths. That story is referring to the monkeypox pandemic. So be wary of that as you carry on your daily activities there. Well, that's all the headlines from the home front here. We're going to go straight to maybe talking just a bit about some of the headlines. So Victor, I'm going to bring that to you. You can just give a brief summary of some of the headlines you've heard today before we go into talking about the final funeral rites of the Queen.
Okay, 2 headlines that really struck me. I think I'm coming from the aspect of I'm really not on a very bright note with what is happening in our nation, fortunately. Okay, so today there is a protest by the National Association of Nigerian Students because of the ongoing ASU strike. So the protest has gone through some airports right now, like Murtala Mohammed Airport in Lagos, the international airport, has been on, let's say, partial shutdown, okay? And so much traffic has been caused around there. And mind you, 5 days ago, the Ibadan Expressway was also in lockdown because of this ASU strike. And it's really, really troubling when you see people out there that want to go to school, and at the end of the day, they are at home. And it seems that the presidency, I blame it on the presidency, our leaders, they are not more like, they don't see it as a responsibility, because it is not something of high importance for them. Okay, that is why our children are suffering, our students are suffering, our brothers and sisters are suffering. Okay, look at even on the paper you read, 84% of Nigerians are malnourished. Nigerians don't eat balanced diet anymore, and people take it like the politicians and some of their followers take it as normal. In fact, right now we are suffering and smiling in this country, and it really does not make sense. Look at what's happening in the UK. If you watch the ambience, you watch what is happening over there. Man, are we not humans like these persons? Why is it that our leaders do not give a damn about us? But during elections, they come out and start sharing 5,000 naira, and some gullible ones will go out there and collect that money and impoverish themselves the more. What will 5,000 do for you in this current Nigeria for 2 days max? And you will not even eat the balanced diet that we're even talking about. So I just want to keep it there. Yeah, I know our team today is about the Queen. I think I want to just dwell there.
Thank you very much for your comments, and it's so true. Nigeria needs help. We all know that, and a lot is going on. And we keep repeating here on the show that please get your PVC and ensure that you get involved in the electoral process when it starts. All right, we're going to come back from. Want to go for a break now. When we come back, we're going to go into the segment where we'll talk about the funeral or the final rites of the Queen of England, in person of Queen Elizabeth II. So you stay tuned. When we come back from the break, we'll go right into that. Now, right, welcome back from that break. All right, like I told you before, we were on the break, and now we're going to go to talking about the final journey and funeral rites of the Queen of England, in person of late Queen Elizabeth II. Which I keep saying that it's very difficult for me to refer to her as late. I mean, she was such a powerful, influential woman, and I kind of feel some way, knowing very well that from today, gradually talks about how we're beginning to fade away, and then more of the new king, person of King Charles III. That's more we'll be hearing until it finally fades off, and it will just be in history that there was once a queen like Queen Elizabeth, a very powerful woman, brilliant woman, one that did a lot, to keep the reputation of Britain as a nation, and to keep the standards and power that the country has become over many years, even before the independence of Nigeria. So there's a lot that is attached to this very great woman, and today marks it's not the beginning of the right, but the final stage of her journey out of this world, and that's where we've come today. And so I would just like you to give general commentaries about that ongoing funeral as it continues.
Okay, I think I want us to start from the point that, see, the Queen is a very notable figure, and the world has seen her success stories. Yes, she had some issues, no two ways about that, but we are mourning a Queen that has created so much impact in the world at large. I will always relate this. That also goes down to our Nigerian leaders. Look at how the Queen is being celebrated. Look at how a leader is being celebrated. Not just about the Queen. Even, in fact, they are comparing the Queen's burial with Margaret Thatcher. They are comparing the Queen's burial with Churchill. These are vibrant leaders. Leaders that turned things around for their people. And when you bring it back to Nigeria, it's so unfortunate that over the years, we've not really had exceptional leaders. Look at the other year that Abacha died. People were jubilating. People were having fun that a leader, a head of state, is dead. Look at in the UK. Look at other countries that our leaders go to. They go on vacation. They buy houses. They go on medical trips. But when you come down to your country, it's more like you are doing us a privilege to lead us. Look at the Queen. She was in Nigeria in the 50s. She spent 20 days in Nigeria, and she had so much fun. Can the Queen or any royal figure come to Nigeria at this time to spend 20 days? It is impossible. Reason, because our leaders they've destroyed our nation for us. They've destroyed it.
That's okay. Yeah.
Look at what's happening. Okay, in the UK, the city of London is on shutdown. 500 head of states are present for the funeral. The big USA is there. Macron of France is there. The Emperor of Japan is there. The Sultan of Brunei is there. The Prince of Kuwait is there. Name them. The royal families of Netherlands, Belgium, the Jordan, they are all there. Spain, they are all there to bid farewell to a great icon. And I ask even our viewers, when you leave tomorrow, sorry, this is what they say during burials.
Yeah.
They say, when you leave, what are you leaving? What indelible mark are you leaving? Will you be remembered as a thief? Will you be remembered as somebody that squandered public funds? Will you be remembered as a wicked human being? Or will you be remembered as a murderer? So it goes down to, yes, it's a bit of emotional when you're watching the ceremony. When you start looking at, is this not a human being? Yes, one will say that maybe luck was on her, that she was able to be part of the royal family. But see, that does not mean that there are no people that might get that privilege and they will useless the privilege. Okay? Many of our leaders here, they had the privilege, but unfortunately for them, some that even cried and cried before we gave them the mantle of leadership, and they are not will I say, showing good example. Okay, well, the funeral is ongoing, and I want to also state this. The UK has also used this to also sell their culture. Okay, as you can see, from their regalia to their weaponry to their vehicles, London, the city of London, the hotels, they are just showing out their culture. From their broadcasting TV channels and online, they are just selling out their culture. And I want to also bring this down to the country. I will always bring all this down to Nigeria. That we need to embrace our culture. These persons have really embraced their culture. Okay, look at, today I can't wait when they will sing their songs. Okay, they have a list of musical acts that will perform. Okay, but now they will do their orchestra and also playing the hymn. Yes, hymn Psalm 121. I will look up to the hills from where cometh my help. My help comes from the Lord. In fact, see, they are selling their culture, and it just makes me feel so good. Okay, and I pray that going forward, the new king will take charge, and by the end of his reign, we shall also have time like this to say, see, you really did well.
Very excellent analysis there. No doubt, one point you raised is the fact that yes, the Queen has been able to bring the country to that very high point of repute, where you have over 500 leaders around the world attending her funeral. That's to tell you how much respect they have for the throne, and that has also extended to her family and members of that family. You could see the way they conduct themselves and all of that. And when you talked about our leaders, learning a lesson from all of this, yes, it goes out to every country, especially African countries that are struggling to find their foot at the moment. They should learn from this. They go out to the UK to enjoy the peace and comfort and blossoming economy that they experience there. Why is it that it hasn't been a point of concern for them to bring this back home and ensure that we live at that level of life? Whereas they choose to leave a chaotic country and go out there to enjoy their spoils from here. This is where they make the money. There has never been a time where any leader here would come out and say, I don't make my money from Nigeria. All my money comes from the UK. It comes from the US. I've never heard. No one leader can boast that the money that they have, the wealth, the riches that they go out to the US and to these other countries to enjoy didn't come from here. So Nigeria is a very wealthy nation. But then we have leaders that has misplaced. They've all misplaced priorities. From the moment you talked about the Queen coming to Nigeria sometime in the 70s and 80s and spent a lot of time here, that was because at that time, systems that were built and put in place by the royalty and the British after colonization were still very functional. And the moment all of that were changed, I keep referring to the 1999 Constitution. The moment we switched it to us, a lot of things started going back. And right now, it's a very good time to have a sober reflection and look through, have lessons learned. Thank God our Vice President is there, even though President Muhammadu Buhari is having a function in the US, but the Vice President is representing the Nigerian government there. He's a very smart man, and we hope that he will catch a thing or two and bring back home for us. All right. moving on, I would like to ask you, what do you think will be next for the British government? Currently, we know that there might be a change of a few things, including their money. We know that the Queen's face is what is on the pound.
Yeah.
All of that will begin to change over time. So, how do you think all of the death of the Queen and all of this is going to change the economy and things alike in the UK?
Okay, going into foreign affairs, like you're talking now. Okay, we need to also make note that for the fact that they were not able to, or they refused to invite, they didn't send invitation to 6 countries. Countries like Syria, we know what's happening in Syria, okay?
Yeah.
As country like Russia, okay? And they even extended it to Belarus. And you know the reason why they extended it to Belarus, because Belarus was a channel for the Russian soldiers to enter into Ukraine. So they did not invite Belarus. They did not also invite Afghanistan, because they do not have ties, diplomatic ties with Afghanistan anymore. Okay, they also did not invite Nicaragua, because they do not also have ties with them. Okay, one special thing that has happened, I don't know how the new king will manage it, is the Saudi Arabia. Okay, remember in 2018, Khashoggi was murdered.
Yeah.
The critic journalist, okay, was murdered, and up till now, they are still pointing fingers to the prince of to the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, as in Prince Mohammed. Okay, and well, he is not coming, but he's sending his prince. They were invited actually, but he's sending his prince. Okay, and he has not visited the UK since then. And you know, they have ties, as in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has strong ties with the UK and the US. Okay, but since 2018, people really backlashed on them. But let's also not forget that when he also came to money, they collected